Well, I think Fame and Muscle Shoals Music is here because we're fiercely independent. We've been doing business with Bank Independent since the 70s, and to know that they've got our back, it means a lot. We've always been there, and it's always just been a phone call away.
From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is your weather, live at 5.
We're checking in with just a few clouds on this Wednesday afternoon here across the Tennessee Valley. Here's a live look at the Arctic Air Skycam Network starting in Lawrenceburg. And you see our puffy fair weather cumulus clouds as we look south and southwest here from atop the water tank in front of Walmart on the north side of town. 90 degrees here with a dew point of 73 and a south-southwest wind currently at 7 miles per hour. We'll slide down southward to the Shoals. Check out Florence, Alabama from the University of North Alabama Skycam location on the Arctic Air Skycam Network. We're atop Rivers Hall with this one, looking back southeast toward Wilson Dam and the 360 Grill and such. And you see Namsea there just above the tree line. 94 degrees here with a dew point of 74 and a west-northwest wind just shy of being completely calm. You see a couple of darker cumulus clouds, but we're pretty much dry across North Alabama. We'll switch to Viper Live Doppler radar. And there are a couple of locations where we aren't quite completely dry. We have some spotty thunder showers here stretching from just to the east of our viewing area, portions of Bedford County, back through northern Marshall County, right through the middle of Murray County, some spotty showers and rumbles of thunder. And then a heavy downpour with some lightning just east of Hohenwald and Lewis County, and some spotty thunder showers extending southwest from there back into portions of north central Wayne County, all of this in southern middle Tennessee. The Alabama side of the state line right now, quiet. Most all of us are into the low to mid 90s here as of the 5 o'clock hour this afternoon. Many of us have gotten up into the mid 90s for daytime highs. Heat index values today have been in that 102 to 107 range for most of us. You see a few spotty thunder showers here and there. Deeper tropical moisture starting to move onshore with the tropical disturbance in the Gulf of Mexico. We'll talk about that a little later. Not expecting a big system from that, but deeper moisture will move northward late in the week and the weekend, increasing our rain chances here locally across the Tennessee Valley. Tonight, partly cloudy skies after we get the late afternoon thunder showers out of here, dropping out of the 90s into the 80s this evening, and then 70s for the overnight, most of us down to the mid to upper 70s for overnight lows. A 10% chance of a stray sprinkle or a shower as we get toward daybreak here. And then on into your Thursday, daytime heating gets us back into the low to mid 90s across the area. A few spotty, isolated thunder showers possible at any one location across the board. Only about a 30% chance of rain, though, so most of us likely to stay dry, at least for most of our Thursday. Daytime highs, once again, low to mid 90s, heat index values into the triple digits. Once again, we're going to hold on to those triple digit heat index values. They're actually going to go up next week. We'll talk about that here in just a moment. Scattered showers and thunderstorms becoming a bit more likely beginning Friday and on into Saturday. Still scattered around Sunday. They do become a little less numerous on Monday, but we're teetering on maybe bumping the rain chances up just a little bit for Monday as well. And then the upper level heat ridge starts to build in. We'll be on the northern edge of it Monday, but it starts to expand across the area going into the middle and latter part of next week. That's going to mean rain chances going down, temperatures going up. Low to mid 90s here the next few days, and then teetering with the upper 80s, lower 90s over the weekend because of a bit more cloud cover. Still with the mugginess around, lower 100s for heat index values. And then the heat ridge builds next week. Notice daytime highs climbing into the mid 90s, maybe some upper 90s. We may have to trend up with these numbers for Wednesday and after next week. Notice that the heat index values next week are starting to get above 105 as the midpoint average between southern middle Tennessee and North Alabama. And looking at both the GFS model and the Euro model for next week around next Wednesday and next Thursday, heat index values look to peak widespread 105 to 110 area wide both afternoons, and that could be a couple degrees too cool if the models are overdoing the coverage of showers because it puts cloud cover with that, and because of the lower resolution that far out, it kind of over smears everything and lowers the temperatures down a couple degrees too cool If it's doing that, we could have widespread upper 90s for afternoon highs, middle and latter part of next weekend. We may have some heat index values that are 110 plus. We'll be watching the details of that as we get a little closer. We're also watching the tropics. We have our disturbance here skirting along the Gulf Coast. Now, don't let all the dark colors scare you here. That's just the cold cloud tops associated with the thunderstorm activity. The color scale measures the cloud tops temperature that gives us an idea of the stronger thunderstorms or not. The circulation at the surface has actually been just on shore with this. So the window for this becoming a tropical depression is lessening with time. If we can get sustained thunderstorm development over the Gulf that relocates the low pressure offshore, there's a small chance that may get a tropical depression to briefly form. I do think the window's pretty much closed for this to become Tropical Storm Dexter. I don't think that's in the cards anymore. Regardless of whether we get a short-lived tropical depression out of this or not, we're mainly talking about heavy rainfall and localized flooding here along the Gulf Coast and into the southeast as we head through the next few days, especially into Louisiana, South Mississippi, far south Alabama, and the western Florida panhandle, and also an increased rip current risk on the Gulf Coast for the rest of the week and the weekend. So be sure to obey those rip current flags. There will probably be some double red flags out there as we head late week and into at least the first part of the weekend. The overall moisture plume associated with this will head inland toward the end of the week and the weekend, and that's what will increase our rain chances here locally across a large part of the southeast, not just immediately the Tennessee Valley alone. Mid-70s for the overnight, maybe some patchy fog in a few places toward daybreak as well, especially if you had rain this afternoon. Partly cloudy overnight, otherwise with overnight lows down into the mid-70s. And then we're back into the mid-90s by the afternoon. We'll call it low to mid-90s, especially if a thunder shower cools you off by a few degrees. Partly cloudy skies tomorrow with 30% chance of those isolated storms. Rain chances going up Friday in the weekend with showers and thunderstorms scattered but becoming more likely Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I think the greatest rain coverage on the map of the 3 days is Saturday, but it's not an all-day washout. Just make sure that you pay attention to the weather and you can adjust your plans accordingly if a thunderstorm comes up. As we head into the first part of next week, thunderstorms becoming more isolated as the upper-level heat ridge builds and definitely turning hotter by the middle of next week. We have a midpoint average between southern Tennessee and North Alabama of a daytime high of 96 degrees for next Wednesday. I could see that trending up a degree or two, and I wouldn't rule out us knocking on the door of 100 for afternoon highs in some parts of North Alabama by next Wednesday and next Thursday. We're not quite sure we make it, but we may be knocking on the door of that. That's your latest 7-day forecast. I'll be back at 6 o'clock and 9 o'clock with another check of your local weather.
You're watching the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel.